going to complain about a question that I got.
Oh, you
Hey,
are.
everybody.
We're live.
I'm already starting with the complaints. Come on.
My guest has not yet joined us. Hopefully, she'll be coming on soon. If not, then you're going to be stuck with me and Mama D for a while. So, no worries. No worries
Yeah,
at all.
because I have a lot to complain about this week. So
Well,
it's either your guest shows up or everybody hears me whining.
what happened?
Okay.
What
Oh,
happened?
okay. What happened? Okay. You know how I upload everything to YouTube. So for those of you,
Oh, 3, 2,
we'll wait for the music. I'll sing to it.
Good evening, everybody. I am Gina B. She's Mama D. We're in the Fox Den. We are still waiting for our guest, Ann Marie Hoff, to be joining us. I sent her the link. We did hook up yesterday on here, so we did a test. So I know she knows how to get into StreamYard, so that is not the issue. I'm not sure what the issue is. I hope she is okay.
Could be time difference issues.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, definitely could be time difference. Hi, Jess. Hi, Dave. Welcome, everybody. So, in the meantime, on here, so we did a test. So
Sorry.
I'm like, now what?
Now we're live. See, Facebook proves we're live. I forgot to turn the sound down. Okay, my complaint. Everybody knows this show gets uploaded to the YouTube channel, which is really awesome. We've got a couple of followers there. If anybody's not following us, get over there. Dagnammit if I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel right now. But there was a video that I put up. I can't remember which one. And somebody in the comment section, not like our comments now, hey Doris, said, are you paying attention or are you just waving at everybody? And I went, both. I pay attention, but I have to wave at people when they come in because I'm not going to talk and interrupt you. So if you see me going like this, the newest person who popped into the chat room is generally it. And if you see me like this, it's because I'm working on my phone trying to say hi to you people. So for that gentleman, you can follow us, and I have no issues with it because you know me, I don't take things too seriously. That's just the way I am. But as I said, we're not professionals. Well, I'm a professional pain in the ass. Oops, sorry, said that.
She did. She said that.
I am
on the air.
It cannot be denied now. It's in audio.
She said
it. Audio print.
I did.
But it's true. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Because see, if I wasn't, then
there would be no way. No way. If you were like, this sweet little angel, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But no, that's why you're on the show.
I can be sweet. I think our guest just showed up. I can be sweet, but I can also be a pain.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Ann Marie.
Hi, Ann Marie. Thanks for joining us. We're already live, so we were just kind of, shooting the breeze for a little bit.
I was lodging a complaint.
You didn't even really get to your complaint yet.
The complaint was that he said I wasn't paying attention to the show.
Nails.
Oh, those. I had to take my nails off today, people. Look at this. Mama D with no nails. That's really weird.
They look good.
Thank you very much. But normally there's longer and they're painted and they have butterflies on them because as you can see, I work with butterflies. So they're everywhere.
Oh, Mom, you can't see. I have up above my picture. If I was on my other computer, I could show you. There's a picture of a fox behind me. They have butterflies all over it. And it's on the very top of my bookshelf, which you can't see with this computer that I'm using.
Somebody's taking a picture of it, sending it to me. Bob,
I
do a series of butterfly monarch paintings.
Ooh, I need to see those.
Yeah.
Yes, she's an artist. You know what? So that's what we're going to do. So welcome, Ann Marie. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, you done? You've had your moment. Had his moment in the sun. Oh, that looks like Ember, but fatter.
Samson.
Oh, so pretty.
Samson, you are cuter than cute. Okay, for those people who don't have any idea what we're talking about because you're just listening to this in audio, my dog Onyx just popped up on stage, and now we have Samson, a giant orange fur ball, which I'd love to get my hands on.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Anne Marie, after the show, I'll send you a picture of my cat. He's a
Okay.
little bit less fluffy, but he's a cranky old ginger. He's a boy, so
Found some from the
cranky.
store a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
that is funny.
Okay,
Oh.
let me, before I go and go off on a tirade, let me read your bio.
Okay.
Okay. Ann Hoff comes from a working farm in northwestern Illinois, where she raised hogs, calves, and plenty of cats and a dog or two. When she was 8, she took her money, she made from feeding crippled pigs and bought a horse. Since then, she has always had horses. As a child, she had numerous upper respiratory and sinus infections, missing more days at school than attending class because of the illnesses. Anne lived with the threat of death always present, was isolated socially from friends and animals, always played an important socially isolated from friends, and animals always played an important part of her life. Raised Presbyterian, she saw God in nature and outgrew her illness as a teenager, only to struggle with upper back pain in her 20s. A survivor of, holy cow, 9 car accidents and a horse fall that broke her scapula. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. She comes she comes by her pain honestly. Hello, yes. Being in a pharmaceutical industry, she went through numerous doctors' treatments with pain with drugs. This worked fairly well for many years through the pain, though the pain level was steadily increasing. Then one day, was put on a combination of drugs which caused her to pass out while driving. That was a wake-up call. It became obvious. It became obvious that drugs were a band-aid, not a cure. Searching for a permanent change in her pain status, she became open to any and all methods of pain relief. This brought her to a workshop by Doreen Virtue on mediumship. Even though she had never done it before, Anne was one of the best intuitive mediums there. 6 months later, she started hearing and working with spirit guides. Today, Anne takes minimal medication and controls her pain with spiritual housekeeping. I like that phrase. And carnal sacral massage. Ooh, sounds good. Anne enjoys movies and is a very serious reader and loves to dance. She has 2 cats, 2 dogs, and 3 horses, which she lives with her now. Hopefully, the horses don't want to come on camera.
But I'd allow it.
I know. But
What kind of horses?
I have paints.
Oh, very
Ooh,
nice.
pretty.
Aw. I had a little Arabian once. Oh, she was so small. Little Shalimar. Oh, my love. I played with her like a dog. She
Yeah.
played ball and you know, she'd kick the ball around with hide and seek. She'd hide behind a barrel. You know what I mean? She was a little dog, honest to God. She was so cute. The only bad thing she did was she loved to chew wood.
Oh, Critter.
Ugh. So I just have to scold her for that. But we used to go walk. I would go get her in the morning, and we'd go for a walk down by railroad tracks, by the power lines, by the reservoir in Wachusett Reservoir in West Boylston. And every morning that we went for the walk, there was a little fox sitting there. So, you know, my little fox has been with me forever. And Shell never was ever even affected by the fox being there at all either. But anyway, again, welcome, Ann Marie. I'm so glad that you're with us. And we chatted a little bit yesterday, and oh my God, we touched on so many subjects in about 10 minutes. We talked. It was ridiculous.
It's always fun the way that works.
I know. So I'm sure, you know, even if we didn't have like kind of questions written out for you, we would have no issues asking you all kinds of stuff. But we're going to start formally, and then we're going to see where everything goes. And for all you people watching, we are, let me get to my banners, because if you have a question for her, all right, that's the call-in number right there. And then we'll kind of go back and forth. We'll put between the call-in number and her website, which is really easy because it's just annhoff.com. So very, very simple. But now you say pets have a spiritual purpose that is unique to them and their owner. Can you tell us more about that?
When I started talking to people's pets, they always have a soul purpose for that person. And usually it's something simple but profound, like they came to make you laugh. I had a woman that the dog was really making her angry because he was peeing on stuff. And she said to me, what possible reason could this dog have to be in my life? And the angels replied, to make you feel your anger. Because she never expressed her anger before. And she's like, oh. And so every once in a while it's something you don't want, but usually it's something that you need to do. And I've never talked to a pet with any length of time without finding a reason why they're there. Wow. So they're much more profound than we know.
Yeah. My Lacey saved my life. That's all I can say. Because I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna enter. All right, I'm just doing this. Okay, shiny ball. It's my show. I can do it. All right, but no, my dog Lacey did save my life. Honest to God, I baby her to no end. Yes, I do. I treat her like a child. She sits on a chair at a table, eating dinner with us. All that stuff. Okay. Yes, guilty as charged. But I've always had black labs. My whole entire life. Very smart. I have the lab and Weimaraner mix one time, smartest dog on the planet. Taught them everything. They were just brilliant. My last dog, Max, was the smartest of all and the closest to me. And she ended up getting a tumor right here. And the vet actually said to me, well, we could amputate her leg. And I said, is that going to prolong her life? And they said, no. And I said, well, then why the hell would I do that? Why would I? The last time of my dog's that means the world to me's life is going to be what? In pain, miserable, and learn how to walk, like a tripod, and then die anyway? I'm sorry, no. Can we just keep her comfortable for as long as possible? Well, that's what we did. So we were keeping her on pain pills and, comfortable, and she was so good. I have to pick her up with a towel to take her outside, and she would go outside. She would wait for us to come home from work. She would never pee or poop in the house. I mean, just unbelievable, this dog, So my daughter had a little long-haired Chihuahua. Whenever she brought this dog over, my dog livened up, So I said, I need a little dog. I need a little dog for Max, right? So I'm out shopping for a little dog. I fall in love with Lacey. Tiny, this little papillon little thing. I never had a little dog in my life, but she was just like in my hands, this cup full of fluff. And I said, I need her. I just fell instantly in love with her. And when I took her home, she was too young. They let me take her because I said, I will feed her with the bottle. I will do whatever. I'll sign whatever, and convince them that I'm okay. I can handle this to take care of this dog. So I took her home and she just slept basically with my dog the entire time. She didn't really do anything because she was too little. And Max ended up passing away. So now I'm crying on this little dog. Don't know how to deal with this little dog. I'm afraid she's going to break her leg going down a step. I'm just like, didn't know what to do with the little dog. And then, the grieving process was brutal, for my dog. It was really bad with her, but thank God I had Lacey. But a year later, my husband passed away. Wow. Now it's just me and Lacey. I have two daughters, but one is away and the other one, she's got her marriage and her life, you know what I mean? So basically it was just me and Lacey. And, I was so lost, so devastated, so down. And there's this gorgeous little puppy that I just love so much, fluffy little thing. And if it weren't for her, if I didn't have her, honest to God, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened to me. So I just always say, that dog was put on the planet to save my life. And she did. She still does. I adore her.
You brought up a bunch of stuff that I work with. Okay. First of all, I want to tell people I've had good luck telling dogs to cut the blood supply off to tumors. And dogs that have cancerous tumors somehow know how to do that. I've had probably a dozen that we've done that, and they don't die of that cancer. The cancer gets smaller. Wow. So I have a vet in California that's a holistic vet that was doing that, and I started talking to and they can do it. So that's one thing. The other thing is losing a pet is such a hard thing. It's harder than I have guys walk up to me and say, that's the hardest thing I ever did was lose that dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the grief with pets is not accepted as much as it is with people, and it's devastating to some people.
Oh yeah, it tore me apart. Tore me apart. I think I'm sorry to say, I think I might have cried more for my dog than I did my husband. I'm not. I might have. I'm just saying. I might have.
She did. Who did?
I'm sorry. It was just, you know, we were just so close. I mean, that dog did everything. She was so smart. I'd get up in the morning, I'd just let her outside, I'd leave the door open a little bit. She'd come in and shut the door. You know, if something was on the ground, she'd pick it up and do circles, you know, until you noticed her and you told her what to do with it, either give it to you or throw it away. And, you know, I had a $50,000 kitchen because I'm a designer, you know, so like I had a thing tied on my cabinet so she could open the door to throw the thing away, but I wouldn't let her shut it like she did the door to come in because of her nails, you know. So she'd open it, throw the thing away, and then come back to me and be like, okay, well, what's next? You know, I mean, everything. And this was the day we had 50,000 remotes. You know, she knew the difference between each one. I gave each one a name. So it was the remote, the clicker, you know what I mean? So I'd say, get me the clicker, get me this, get me that, get my slippers, get my blanket. When I had my hysterectomy, she took better care to me than my husband did. You know,
Why did you have a husband? You didn't need
She was.
She's feeling like a service dog.
Yeah,
Exactly. We used to take her. She was our bait dog on the beach. I mean, just brilliant. She was the only dog on Nauset Beach allowed to not have a leash on. Because if I told her to sit and stay, she would stay there all day until I told her to move. Yeah, she really would.
Now, losing a pet, I'm gonna go off with Gina because this is the for my daughter. She lost her dog about a year ago, maybe two. I can't remember. I'm really crappy with dates. But this knocked her on her fanny. I seriously had to go down and spend time with her. That she was so heartbroken. She doesn't have children. And she's not planning on having any children. Thankfully, I'm a grandma already. I don't need to do it all over again. But her babies are her dogs. And this dog died under not mysterious, but bizarre circumstances. And we knew exactly what it was, but she still aches for her today, to the day. Yesterday was the anniversary of the day. And it's still, she has another dog.
Ashes?
Sorry?
Did she keep the ashes of the dog?
Yeah.
Usually what I find, okay, so just like people, when we die, we could stay here, we can go to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And dogs and cats, I found, if you want them to stay, they usually stay with you.
Yeah.
And then it's really hard to get over them because they're still in the house as a ghost.
I agree, but I also know that for right now, this is what she needs to hold on to.
Right. So I've got a ceremony. I don't know if I have it up on my website, but you can send the animal on to heaven and keep the ashes.
Okay.
And the reason I always recommend to my clients to do that is I found that they reincarnate. And I was in this about 3 years when I started running into animals that came back to their owners again in a different new body. And
so it's on your website?
Yeah. Email me what you were going to say, the picture of the cat, and I'll email you the
dog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My cat, my orange ginger, my cranky orange.
Because it's really one of the nicest things you can do for somebody.
Yeah.
Because I started seeing that, and I looked at other animal communicators, and we all see animals reincarnate. It's pretty much accepted. And I had a cat come back as a horse, so that's in my book. And once that happened, it's like, okay, this is real. Because I was in training over in Hawaii, and I had like 12 people tell me this cat that died was coming back as a horse, and none of them knew that I had a pregnant mare. So, and then when it was born, it had the same markings, and the cat had an eye that was half blind because it had been a barn cat, and the horse said half of that eye was ice blue. Wow. And then the white socks were the same. So they do reincarnate, and they come back to us. So if you keep them here as a ghost, you take them out of the flow of that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hold on to your pets so that they can reincarnate and come back.
Yeah.
So let them go. That's a really good thought. because that's what, the half the battle is with humans and spirits and ghosts and their loved ones passing. Either the loved one that passed doesn't really want to let go yet, or you don't.
Right.
And everyone kind of goes through that at first. I did with my husband. I did. And he was so boisterous in life. He was very boisterous after the fact. I have so many
They are the same.
I love you. If I dated someone, if he approved or not, all that kind of stuff. So, and hey, I got the evidence. I can back it up, but that is an issue. I got to the point where I was like, okay, you can go now. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm okay. So,
Well, even if they're in heaven, they'd be with us at the speed of thought, but they're happier. They're heaven energy, so they're happy and they're uplifting, versus just like being here and dropping their body. They're usually kind of not real happy. They're kind of in the same place you are, where they miss you and they miss the physical touch. And
like she has her days because she's got another new puppy, and not the same breed,
right.
but she has her days where she's okay, but I can tell when she's in the point of missing her, because then she gets really sad and her anxiety gets overworked. But yeah, I think the thing that you were talking about, the ceremony that you were talking about, I think that's something that I'll grab a hold of for her.
Yeah, it really help.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully, if I get out of this quarantine stuff, I'll go down and help with it. But
love returns to love. Love always returns to us.
Oh yeah,
love,
indeed.
She's so sweet, isn't she? So now, are there differences between the species? Okay, so like, now we know there's differences between cats and dogs, but like cats, dogs, horses, whatever.
Right. And the other thing that's interesting is, when we're talking about reincarnation, dogs, when they come back, will look at other dog breeds and ask if they want to be like another type of dog. And usually it seems like people that rescue golden retrievers. I had a golden retriever that asked if he could come back as a golden, something smaller, as a chow, I think. And she was like, no. And he's like, I just wanted to be able to ride on a plane once. So they look at other breeds and they think, well, they can do that. They don't shed. That, like my cat that came back as a horse was like, that's a sure thing, I can come back. But then he was like, I'll never forget. He was like, what is this stuff out here? And I'm like, you mean mud? And I'm like, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you're living in that, dude. He's like, well, because when do I get in the house? I'm like, never.
Oh, that's so funny.
He didn't really think it through. He just wanted to come back to me as fast as he could.
Aww.
And so horses are really sensitive. Horses have very sensitive and very smart. And you can tell they don't know they have a forever home, because they're always hesitant to say anything bad about anybody. Cats tell me they don't, that there's no, how do we want to say it? That there's no barrier between life and death with them, that they keep their consciousness through dying. They tell me it's like walking from the kitchen to the living room. So that's one reason they're like not as afraid of death, and they're very cavalier about death, because that's
what Midnight Lives.
Yeah, and cats will do walk-ins where they'll switch another spirit out faster than any other species too, because they don't care. Cats will let a person come in and like watch another person through the cat.
So they like more matter of fact.
Yeah, they're kind of they know their worth. They're kind of, this is the way things are. I don't know. They're very unique, And then dogs, like, it's funny. Like German Shepherds always think they're handsome. They always think they're attractive. But one German Shepherd I talked to,
that would be my late husband.
And Schnauzers, they're always like, we have to run the world. I mean, they're like organizing things, It's like your house cannot be organized enough, and we have to be on a schedule. And then like I have Bijans, and they're just kind of like, we're happy, let's play. So there's a wide variety in the species of dogs too.
Yeah.
And I don't talk to many other. I talk to parrots, and parrots are kind of they're, I don't want to say angry, but they're obstinate. Like they're like, don't tell me what to do. You know, I worked with dogs for 5 years before I had one say, I'm not going to do what you asked me. Like, I honestly thought I could make these dogs do all this stuff. And then I realized, oh, they're just doing it because they want to make people happy so much, you know, where a parrot is like, screw you, I'm not going to quit biting that person.
Oh yeah, my brother has a parrot, and you don't know what their parrots are until they're like older. You don't know if they're male or female.
Oh.
And it's weird, but they named it Timmy, but it's a girl. So Timmy's a girl. But yeah,
Timotina.
They lived like 90 too.
Timmy used to, oh my God, make all the sounds of like the phone ringing and the alarm in the building. So all the old ladies in the building would be like, oh my God, there's a fire alarm.
Yeah, they seem like they have a really good sense of humor. Or mischief, one of the two.
A wicked sense of humor.
Yeah.
A wicked sense of humor.
Okay, there was a quick question in the chat room. Do you feel that our animals are empaths? And I think you answered it that the horses are because they feel the most.
Right. But all animals, the thing I've realized learning this is humans can hide our feelings. Like we won't talk about stuff, but a lot of times the cat or the dog will feel the stuff and be acting out because they really can't hide from their emotions. They'll act out a lot faster. And so a lot of times I come in and it will be something going on with the person or the couple. It won't be anything going on with the actual cat. The cat will just be manifesting it. Another time the other thing that happens is they seem to get, what they tell me is they can stand in front of an illness if it's meant for us. So I had a client in Mexico that called me because her cat had a urinary tract infection. And I go, well, what's going on with you? And she goes, I've had 15 urinary tract infections this year. And so the cat was just magnifying what was going on with her and really didn't have the issue. And that can happen too.
Wow.
You know, they do that a lot. Like I had a woman in Texas that she had cancer and it was spontaneous remission, but all 4 of the dogs that had been on her bed died. They picked it up and took that energy. So that can happen too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just cats. But it sort of kind of makes sense because we know, for me, even though my ginger cat is a cranky old curmudgeon, I know that, you know, he's there. He listens to me and he's got me well trained. Never mind me getting him well trained. But my dog is the same way. They will do whatever they can for me when they see that I'm like in a mood, which is rare, but it happens. My cat, like I said, he's more of a guy cat. He likes guys better, but he'll come and check on me and he'll bump me with his head. And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. You know? So it kind of sort of makes sense that animals would interfere with that us getting more disease or take the whole, trying to get away from us.
It goes into the fact that they're here for a spiritual purpose for us. What they tell me is if they stand in front of our illness, it gives us more time to figure out what it's about. Because everything starts with the spiritual, emotional body and moves into the physical body. So there's always a reason besides a medical one for an illness starting.
Yeah. I know they train a lot of dogs to smell different types of cancers and stuff.
They're fantastic. They're more, with cancer, dogs are more specific than the machines. Mm-hmm. But the doctors don't want to give in and use the dogs because it looks like it's voodoo or something.
Right.
I wanted to adjust with cats. They will, like they've proven now that cats purring will heal bones faster. And it reduces blood pressure. And so a lot of times when people are ill or laying on the couch or something, the cat comes and purrs on them. And that will actually help us get healed faster.
Right.
I love
when they bring the animals into the hospitals, into the nursing homes and stuff like that, because, you know, if they don't allow you to keep them there. But when they have the visiting people come in and they bring in dogs and even a horse, they're little, you know.
I do that with my dog and my cat. Samson that you saw, he's one of the 2 therapy cats in southern Arizona.
Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant. You know,
it really cheers people up. It just, you can see people light up when they see a dog or a cat.
Yeah,
and
it does, because that's unconditional love.
Right. Right.
Now,
and they're also happy. You know, they're.
What about like things like iguanas and spiders and snakes and the icky things. You talk to them.
Hey! I like spiders. I like snakes and
In
spiders. I
my
have no
book,
issues.
I talk about I had a tarantula that was stalking me, and
Ooh.
I like the fourth time he was in my house, I thought about vacuuming him up in the vacuum. And when I thought that, I saw him shiver, and I realized he knew what I was thinking.
Oh, so the
Because
one I just hit with the hammer the other day didn't like me too much.
Oh,
well, that's a I mean, a
yeah.
tarantula is big, you know. I mean, yeah, spiders, you know, and birds can be messengers a lot. You know, like a hawk is wisdom, a hawk is truth, and owls are wisdom. But they will show up if they need to give you a message from spirit a lot too. That happens.
What about loudmouth blue jays?
I don't see blue jays as much as I see cardinals.
Okay.
And I just had a client this morning. His mom was sending him red-winged blackbirds. Or there was a name for it, blackbirds that had a red wing, and he had there's another breed of birds. And then his dad was sending cardinals. So they were competing on what type of birds they were sending to him from the afterlife.
Nice.
It's kind of funny. So yeah, spirit can send those. Blue jays are individual to you. They're coming from one of your family members, like a mother or grandmother. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you look up stuff for your spirit guides,
Yeah.
you know, you get a lot of the information like that. You know, what the totem is that could be for a spirit guide, but what also, you know, the animal does in general. You know,
Right.
seeing an owl and seeing a raven and seeing, you know, my fox. You know, seeing whatever. There's meanings for everything, and as a guide, they bring that into the fold and into the mix.
Right. You got to check in and see if that fits for you or if it fits in another way too. Sometimes it's a little bit of a testing area, like what is this about? But they definitely are messengers.
Wow, I didn't even know the dragonflies were out yet, JoJo. So you had a dragonfly land on her today. So I think that's a good sign.
That's magical, yeah.
Yeah, I love dragonflies. Oh, me and my niece used to, my old house in Massachusetts, we had tons of dragonflies in the backyard. And we'd always go out and you just hold your finger up and they come land on you.
When I started doing this, the first time I spoke professionally after Doreen Virtue did, and I came home that night and I had to be somewhere the next morning. So I'm like trying to go to sleep. And I had like 12 fairies outside my bedroom window.
Aww.
And 2 UFOs. And I didn't really think fairies were real, and they're beautiful. They light up from within, and they're little, and they're just incredible. And I was like mesmerized with them. And my dog is like, would you go to sleep? Because we have to get up in the morning. But so I always think of fairies when I think of dragonflies, because they kind of have that magical wing, you know,
right.
quality to them.
All right. So since you mentioned fairies, what about like elementals and, you know, all the
thing I've learned, and I haven't read this in the book, but elementals work with the earth and they work with animals. My kahuna says that they're angels for animals. And if you do stuff with animals, or if you are working and you conserve the earth and, you know, they will help you. And so anything like my shower drain was plugged and I asked them to unplug it and they did it. Anything that has to do with water or stuff like that, they will do for you immediately. And they also will protect, you know, you ask them for that kind of stuff. That's what I do. And you respect them. And they're very powerful. I think people don't know as much about them as they do angels.
And then another thing too. I know we're going all over the place. Now you are me. Right now, first of all, I want to ask, like, okay, how and when, what were the circumstances you discovering the fact that you were a medium, and how did you go about like developing that? And then after that, I want to ask a question as to you get to that point. What are the things that you see?
Okay. So I took a class with Doreen Virtue, and I naively thought that we'd have 3 days of like meditating to get ready for this, because we had to be at the right vibration. And then we would like talk to a few people. But it was like, as soon as we came down, she gave us 15 minutes to like try to, you know, get a hold of somebody. And I'm like, I know nothing. And she said, if you're having problems, ask your guides to help you. And I had been working with the kahuna a little bit, that I had started working with the saints as guides. That's how fearful I was. I started out with baby steps with the saints. And I asked St. Anthony to help me. And I got a vision of an episode of Magnum PI. And Magnum was walking on the beach, and they were playing a John Denver song, Sometimes You Fly Like an Eagle, Sometimes You're Down on the Ground. And I remembered the episode it was in, because he had gotten shot and they didn't know if he was going to live or die. And at the end of the vision I had, this guy turns around and he goes, my name's Jim. So I'm like, great, I have something to share. At least I have something to share. I'm not going to be like an idiot. And I stood up, and immediately this girl goes, that's my dad. And I mentioned the song, and she goes, that's for me. And it was just like, all right on. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, I had no idea. And you get different, like, you know, there's different senses involved. Like, my main sense is feeling. And I think that's harder sometimes, because we can negate it. We can say, oh, well, I don't really get that. And like, when I channel somebody, I usually feel how they die in my body. And I don't know how I didn't know I was doing that before, because it can be really
it's normal for you.
Yeah. And so I get that, but I also hear words, and I also get pictures. So I get kind of a 3 thing. And the more you work with it, and the other thing that really helped me is I couldn't hear the angels, but Doreen said that her mother told the angels to speak up. And so I went home and I meditated for 15 minutes a day, and I said, I hear my angels loudly and clearly. And I did that for about 3 months. And I came home one night, and there was a white owl on the carport, and he looked at me over the hood of the car, speaking of animals as totems. And for like what seemed like 5 minutes. And then he flew up under the roof of my house, which I went out the next day. It's like, there's no way he went there. So he was an interdimensional owl. And after I saw him, I've always heard the angels. So they're kind of like the bouncers. They keep people organized. They keep people from stepping on top of each other, so you don't know who's talking. And I lean on them a lot of times to like give me more information or explain things that people are talking about. So that's really nice to help fill in with a total picture of what's going on. Because the other thing that happened is people keep the same personality when they die, obviously. So if a guy, like if a guy doesn't talk a lot when he's alive, he doesn't talk a lot when he's dead. And they will actually like send me a feeling and then expect me like that they love the person. And they want me to say they love the person because they've never said it out loud themselves, and they still don't want to, even though they're dead.
Yeah.
You know, and I get kind of information on that from the angels. It's like, oh, this guy doesn't want to do that. So it helps, you know, that all kind of wraps together. Did that answer your question?
It did, definitely. Except for the second part, like as in, okay, I wanted to know like different types of things, as in, because you brought up aliens. Now that your vibration is raised and you can see spirit, you can also see aliens. You know, yeah. I mean, it's like it's a different vibrational range, you know, in your vision.
You know, it's interesting again, because I don't know, it'd be interesting to go up to heaven and find out how this stuff works. But there was some stuff that I saw that really scared me. Like one time I asked to see like an idiot, I asked to see an archangel. And the next night I shut the lights off. I was walking to bed, and the room became bright as day, and I heard this tone. And I knew that an angel was coming, and it scared the crap out of me because the back wall of my house was gone. And I just said, I can't handle this. And then they stopped. And the thing I've noticed is if my guides protect me. Like if I say I can't handle something, they don't show it to me again, usually. And that was a big moment for me, because I realized I did have some control of it, because it kind of felt like a ride at the fair that had no rules before that, you know? And so, and the problem I have with it is I think I always had this. And so to balance it, I've learned a lot about science. It's like, I want to learn all about science as I can to understand the world. And so I spent 25 years in medicine and talking to doctors. So this is all stuff that they don't believe, you know? And And the the alien stuff, it's like, well, you know, I don't want to be one of those people that goes to Roswell every year and everything, but I see them, and I see them a lot, and they're there, you know. And I always ask other intuitives, like, what is outside of my bedroom? Because I have one that always watches me. It's there every night. And it feels like it's a friendly being that, you know, is anchored to me somehow.
Yeah. So Jojo says, do you ever wonder if aliens and angels are one and the same? Like we believe in angels and spirits. What if they're actually aliens amongst us? Aliens.
There's a quote by Neil Donald Walsh about, you know, are there other planets? And he said, God says, where do you think heaven is? I think there's other ways of being in the world. And from what I get with angels, like, I don't divide them. There's books out of all the different, like the virtues and the different types of angels, you know, the cherubs and everything. I don't go into that. That's not where my purpose is. I think that there are different places and there's different energies. And some of the guides I have lived, and some of the angels have a feeling like they haven't lived.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons, like, I get clients who are like, well, you know, if everything that happened in your readings were true, it would be a really great world and everything would be like really sunny and everything. And the thing is, I know
daisies and lollipops.
with angels every day is they don't see bad stuff happening. They're in, you know, if you're in the vortex of love, you don't see the negativity and the judgment. And so that's how they view the world. And it's a different way of viewing the world than most people have.
Yeah.
And we call in the negativity too, because we still attract it because we think it has to be here.
Okay. I just want to kind of recap a little.
Sorry.
You went through a lot of different things. No, this is fine. Just for people if they don't understand. Okay. People die, they become ghosts. All right. A ghost is a person that is still just like us, still with all the human emotions, with love, with lust, with hate, with envy, with, you know, jealousy, just all the human emotions that are bogging them down, keeping them from crossing over, or whatever, fear, you know, thinking that they're not going to be able to cross over. Once they do finally cross over, then I call them a spirit. Then that spirit is enlightened. They know better. They know everything. They know everything is good, you know, and it's good over there. And then they can still come back. And those are the people that can be guides for you, that you can trust. But now us as investigators, when we go out, you know, like you were saying, you know, people, how they are, you know, sometimes they lie to you. You know, if they lie to you in life, they're going to lie to you in death if they're still a ghost. Okay, so paranormal investigators will get evidence and be saying stuff like, oh, well, it's got to be true because, you know, I got this EVP. It's like, well, that EVP, they could be lying to you. They could be saying that they are, you know, this and that this happened and that happened, and it didn't. You know what I mean? They still have an ulterior motive. So you really need to investigate. You really need to know who it is that you're actually talking to, you know, by definitely a series of questions and interviews and, you know, different ways of investigating to get to the bottom of things, you know, and find out. But then you also have to be like a counselor to these spirits, you know, especially if they're in turmoil, to assure them it is okay to cross over. You aren't going to be punished. It's not going to be all fire and brimstone. You're not going to have to, you don't have to be stuck here. You don't have to be walking this planet in this plane with all your misery still attached to you. You can let all that go and you can cross over. You can go over. Now, when you go to a client and they're having this issue, do you explain to the spirit or to the client, you know, that you would cross the spirit over? How do you cross the spirit over? What are your thoughts on that whole subject?
I almost always cross them because I feel, I don't know if you, Emoto, the guy who did the book on the secret way, life of water, I heard him speak, and he even talked about how this planet, the vibration is lower than it should be because we have all this energy hanging on. And I believe if they're manifesting, they're getting energy from somewhere, and it's usually from a human or a place. And it's from a human. A lot of people that have autoimmune diseases like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue, a lot of that stuff comes from having a ghost.
Attachments.
Yeah. And so you got to cleave them away from that person. And then what I do is I'll have Jesus come down, and he's like perfect love. He's Christ consciousness. It doesn't matter what religion they are. And you really don't believe in fire and brimstone with him around you because you're in perfect love. And the other thing that's the beauty of having him come in is people can't argue with you when he's in, because you can't argue in that higher vibration he has of perfect love. So it kind of makes that easier.
No, yeah.
And my trick is, if I can find any history on the person, I will ask for some, or just if I don't have, I'll ask for their mother or their grandmother or somebody they know to come from heaven and get them. And, you wouldn't go up with an angel because they might take you to hell. You don't know. But if your mom says, I'm going to take you to heaven and it's good up here, you'll go with her. Right. So that's my trick to getting people crossed. And I get almost everybody crossed.
But have you ever had somebody who hasn't wanted to cross?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I call Jesus in.
Yeah, because it's fear. Fear. You're
yeah. I always okay. If they're here, they probably didn't want to cross unless they had a car accident or something that they were just so confused that they didn't figure it out fast enough. So I always find out why they stayed. I always find that out, because you have to address that with them, because they still have free will. They can come back.
Yeah. So these are two comments from JoJo on what you were saying, like different planes. That was the first conversation before I went on my little rant. Okay. And the second is, do you see them as well or just hear them? She's a medium.
I hear them and feel them. There are times I do a lot of phone clients, especially right now because of the virus. Mm-hmm. So I'll see them in mind's eye. There's been times that I've physically seen people. I've walked through a ghost a couple times. That is a weird. I've had stuff happen in the last 10 years that I never thought was possible. But I was dating this guy that flew forest fires, slurry drop, and he had a bunch of his friends had died. And they were all attached to him. And I came home and I had like all of them with me. There was like 7 pilots that had died the year before. And I was walking through my house and I saw a guy leaning against, I was actually saging my house, and I saw one of them leaning against the foyer in a plaid shirt. And I was like, I had my head down and I walked through him before I even realized it. Mm-hmm. And then I walked back out and I was like, oh, I'm not afraid of ghosts anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been ever since the first little girl that ran through me. That was the only thing that ever really, it startled me more than, I wasn't really scared.
That I think is the number one rule, is you cannot be afraid of them, because that feeds them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a body, always it has more power than being out of a body.
You have to have a healthy fear of a situation, so you can't blindly, just because you say I'm not afraid of ghosts, go into a place that has a really bad rap, or really something that could possibly be quite dangerous. You don't throw.
There's other things out there besides ghosts.
There are, yes, there are.
That's what I don't. I don't steer that.
Tread lightly. I got a few of my own little things going on. Like I know when things are good and when things are bad. If we take people to investigations. If I feel that someone in the group is like one of those people that could get an attachment easy, or something bad could happen, even if we ground it, shield it, or whatever, I will steer them away from that area, or that if something's in that corner, it's like, well, let's go over here and check this out. And they're like, you can go away now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to protect different people, right. but that's what do you do to protect yourself? And do you do a protection, like a grounding or a shielding, before you talk with a new client?
I don't do it as much as I used to, because I had chronic pain and I'm an empath. That's my biggest challenge, is shielding and guarding, because
And you cut that off.
Yeah. And I have a person, I did past life regression for 2 years, and I have a personality that doesn't want to be afraid and thinks they can save the world. So I think of that as the last thing. I usually do a clearing that I created before I talk to somebody on the phone or in person. I ask for the right angels to come in and the right guides to come in, and anybody that's not for our highest best good be escorted to the right and proper place.
I like how you put that too. Yes, the right and proper.
Yeah. And they, and sometimes when I do that, I can feel them fling off. It's really weird. Like some people will be attached to somebody and they'll just fling. It's cool.
I'm sorry that just really got me. That's awesome. All right. So what are the main reasons? Like give me like, I don't know, the top 5 of why people get in touch with you for your services, whether it's animal or person.
With animals, it's behavior issues by far. Peeing, pooping, barking, chewing on things, biting. It's behavior issues. They want their animals to behave. Then also end of life decisions. Like you said with your dog, we have a cancerous tumor. Does he want to live with his leg off, or should we let him go? When you get the animal's decision on that, it takes the guilt away from the people, because the animal's also helping make a decision in their care. And you also find out the reason why this is going on, so you don't have as much guilt, and whether or not you can heal it. I can do anything intuitively to heal it, because a lot of times you can't. So I like medical intuitive end of life decisions. I think that's a really valuable place to use an intuitive. And then also to talk to them on the other side. And I look for lost pets. I look for lost dogs and cats. I've found over thousands. I've found them in Australia, Canada, and England on the phone. So there's no space in the psychic world. You're always connected to what you love, and nothing's lost in God's world. So if you take those 2 statements, you can find pretty much anybody. And I always can get in touch with the animal usually. Lost animals are hard because sometimes animals are stolen or something's done to them. And with stolen animals, it's hard to get them back. What I do is I psychically shame the person that has them, that they're not doing something. I don't even know if that's
I knew it.
I just said that out loud, and I don't know if that's totally ethical. But what I do is I put a voice in their head, and I'm like,
blame it on me.
Every second of the day that what they're doing is not right. Yes?
It's my fault. Just say, Mama made me do it. There you go. I'll take it.
Yeah, then you get away with anything.
But and the thing is, you're not hurting them. You're just making them realize that what they're doing is not right. Like you said, you're telling them that that's not right. So you're not doing it's not like you're saying, I want you to trip down, fall down, break a leg, and smash your face up. That would be something, that would be a little bit too far. But you're not doing that. You're just sort of like sitting there going, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Right. And just sort of send that to them over and over again. So it's like, in a
loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that. So
scratching the record.
Like the first 5 years, I found everything I looked for. And then I had 3 stolen dogs in a month that I didn't get 2 of the 3 back. And that was hard. And so I've kind of lost my taste for it. I still do it, but I'm not actively promoting it as much as I used to. And those are the main reasons. And then to get to know your animal better, which is always the best one to do, because you are a team. And, the more you know the animal, the more you know yourself. Emmanuel says, if you have a cat, here you are in cat form. So, and then with mediumship, the ones that take the most energy are the people that have lost kids. Again, when you're a medium, you're kind of learning this stuff on your own, and some stuff takes more, like finding out about why your dog is barking doesn't take as much energy as talking to your child that you desperately wanted to live and didn't.
Yeah.
I had these 2 women call me that they said they wanted to talk to their dogs. And then when I got there, this woman they had both lost children. And the one kid had died from cystic fibrosis. And I could feel it, and I didn't know what it was. But it felt like I was drowning, but there wasn't any water. And it kind of freaked me out. That was a bad thing that they did with that, because and I don't it's weird with that too, because I'll feel it until they say what it is. And so if they don't say it, I have to be like, say it so I can start feeling better. I should say that before I start it's interesting doing this. I'm thinking of some of the ways I do stuff. So that's the main reason, to talk to loved ones. What I tell my clients is if we're talking and somebody from the other side wants to come through, I recommend it, because people go through a life review when they die. And when they do that, they want to apologize a lot of times because they did not realize how they were being to people.
Mm.
And so I see a lot of people get apologies. I had this one guy come through that was this woman's grandfather, and he said that he came over from Ireland. They were in Milwaukee, and he never saw any of his family again, so he started drinking. And he goes, the family has all this huge alcohol addiction, and all of these lives have had all this trauma because I became an alcoholic, and I apologize to you for that. I was so beside myself, I couldn't do better. So here's somebody that she never knew apologizing to her because he created the life she had. And that stuff I think is really healing too. And,
Yeah.
And then with spirit guide, the angels can't tell you, they can give you the odds on something happening, and they can give you more options. They can look down the road ahead. So I really value doing those too. Sometimes I think, like I had a couple that I got that their restaurant, they had a restaurant and they had a house that they were going to have a Christmas party at. And the angel said, if you have that Christmas party, you're going to get robbed, because they already knew the people that were planning to rob them. And so they didn't have the Christmas party. And they're like, well, we don't know if that would have happened. And it was like, yeah, that would have happened. So that kind of stuff happens too. And so I have regular clients that I do psychic coaching with too.
Now,
because, our angels and guides are really our coaches. That's who we should be using.
yeah. So we can ask you like on how you can tell people how they can get in touch with their own spirit guides and whatnot. But
Right.
Susan has this question or statement.
Okay.
Lost a dog that had a very special bond with last July, and I have lots of visitation dreams with her. Now, do you think the visitation dreams are real, or like
what can happen is when we go to sleep, we can go to heaven. You can ask to go to heaven. So I find this with a lot of people, like they'll see their guides in dreams, or they'll see a dream state is a more neutral space to meet somebody. So yeah, you're seeing your dog and it's a neutral space. You could probably have them come through when you're awake too. You just don't feel as comfortable doing that. But yeah, so he's in heaven and he's contacting you, and it could be because he wants to come back too.
Do you think there's the same heaven for pets and people?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gotta be boring up there without my pets.
Absolutely. All my
With
pets.
only humans.
Like, like, oh my God.
My brother.
Happened for me would be like, diving into a pool of papillons. But June says she's looking for her brother and don't know if he's passed. And then she says, what can I do? Now, how would you go about if she contacted you?
Right. I would use the name. And then I'd get a hold of him and see what I usually start with lost. And with lost people, I start talking to them and see if they're alive, they're not alive, what their situation is, what's surrounding them. A lot of times with stuff like that, you do find things have happened that you don't want to happen, and so then you just kind of,
you gotta know the backstory too, like how long has it been gone? Now, has it been years? Has it been months? Has it been, weeks? I mean,
yeah, but that doesn't really matter with me.
No.
Okay. No, I can still get them.
Wow. Well, there you go. So June, get in touch with Ann. Go to AnnMarieHoff.com. Try to set up some time with her and see if maybe she can help you.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's only been like 4 people I can get a hold of in 20 years. So, and I think, and most of them had just died.
She says, oh, they are visitations. And she said, I've seen her run by me quite a few times. I'm very comfortable with her. I am also a medium too, so I see a lot, which is good. I just made this. So
it sounds like Susan just
made for her. This is for her. So a wolf. The wolf box.
Nice.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, this will be a spirit box. for her king, for her. So yeah.
If you could talk to people as a medium, you could probably talk to animals too. It's the same channel. Everything's spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the dog wants to come back. That's the thing I'm getting on your dog.
Oh. So what now? All right. So going
Okay.
back to what you had said earlier, right? So for her to have that dog come back to reincarnate, she has got to cut that tie, cut that
Oh
bond.
no, this dog's in heaven. All
Okay.
they need to do is be in heaven. This dog's in heaven. So what I'm getting from him is he's probably going to go to a shelter, and he doesn't want to be there without you picking him up. So that's why he keeps trying to get this message out through to you. So you'll start looking for him.
Oh.
Because he's going to be pissed if he goes in body and he ends up with somebody else.
So that means you have to go to shelters.
Yeah. Okay, let's see, Jessica.
You know, I don't know how that part works out, but it seems like they do it. You know, that miracle God takes care of. You just have to be open to finding the dog.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, there you go. I think, yeah. All right. I think that's good advice for you, Susan. Now, Jessica says, our 19-year-old cat passed away last fall. That night, there was a weird red light in our kitchen and like a big being in the space. I felt like he was saying goodbye. Is it possible that he was something more than a cat?
Oh, yes. I had my dog Patsy was an angel. And they're different energy, and she was this huge energy that came into this little body to help me make my transition from being in sales to being a medium. And yeah, the cats could be ETs and a lot of other stuff too. And they can also be your guides sometimes.
Wow. So now, when was the first time you had, like you say, like you see the aliens that are outside your window? So they don't come into the house; they're always like outside the window, or do you see them in the house?
I guess I still have some fear of them. I mean, I don't say that out loud, but it's like, you guys can stay out there. I tried talking to them because my kahuna said that if you talk to somebody, they have to answer, but they don't answer me. But they've been there ever since I started doing, since I started speaking on this. They've been there. And then I see other ones sometimes too. There's a lot of different, I've seen probably 20 different types of ET vehicles.
Wow.
Did you guys see ETs?
Have I seen an ET?
Yeah.
I've seen ships. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, me too. It's these ships. Yeah.
We went to we were doing a filming actually for Ghost Detectives up in Happy Valley in New York, and it was like a trifecta. We were looking for Bigfoot, aliens, and spirits. So there was a like a town that disappeared. So we had all kinds of communication with spirits there and everything. We had rocks being thrown into the water. Don't know if that was Bigfoot or not, because that's like one of the claims that they clunk the rocks in. But we watched some hovering lights that, by God, I can't. It's not a ship like we have, because it would come down. It would sit there, sit there, sit there, sit there, and it would go sideways. Sit there, sit there. You know what I mean? It's like, it was the strangest thing. So, like, I've seen stuff like that.
The first time I saw them at my window, I had like, well, maybe it's a spotlight or something. And then they'd start moving in every time they were conscious, because I'd think, okay, they're this. And then they'd start moving in a circle. It's like, oh, it can't be that. They knew what you were thinking they were. And they're like, no, we're not that.
Yeah. So I think they pick the people that they want to talk to. You know what I mean? So, like, you have to have that. Like, a spirit knows when they can communicate with a medium. Right. Mama knows that too. You know what I mean? She knows who can communicate with her. Spirits know that. They know, like, okay, well, this person can't hear me, so I'm not going to waste my time. Right. But I think the aliens are the same. They pick the people that they know that they can get through to. And sometimes the poor people might not be in their right mind to be able to handle that, which doesn't help their situation, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Then people think, you're really crazy and they'll lock you up.
There'll be a lot of us there.
Right. Definitely.
Jacob Ridge in the chat room says, I am a believer in spirits and the afterlife. I would love to talk to some of my family members and ancestors that have passed on.
Hi,
Set up
Jake,
an
my
appointment.
fellow fox lover.
Set up an appointment, because that's like one of my favorite. I cannot tell you how great it is to have people on the other side see how they treated you and apologize for what they think they perceived as having done wrong, which might not even be that big a deal, but they didn't see it. So they're like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry I did this. It's such a loving reunion. And it's such a, it verifies spirit and the fact that that we go on, that souls are eternal and that there's more, and they exist in the same way as they did when they were alive. They still have the same characteristics. Like some people, I'm a trans medium. Some people can tell just by the way I talk who we're talking to, because I'll get the voice and everything. It's really weird.
Now, when you channel, do you always know who you're channeling?
Pretty much. I usually ask. When I channel guides, I kind of let them, if I add somebody channeling, like if I see Esther Hicks and she's channeling Abraham, I hear him too. Before she says it, I'll hear it in my head probably when she hears it. And that was the way it was when Pat Rodegas channeling Emmanuel. I would hear Emmanuel too. So, the vibration of the spirit is, so it's channeled information that is wise. And then I also can tell if somebody's lying, like you hear a cluck in the statement. So like Judith Orloff says, the difference between spirit guides and like the bad people is they say bad things, and spirit guides are always like,
they're above
above reproach. And it's really easy to tell the difference, I think.
Yeah.
But I haven't talked to a lot. I mean, I've felt those spirits moving them around in people's houses and stuff, but that's been about it.
Yeah. Well, I had my old co-host on this show, Chris George, a psychic medium. He actually channeled an alien one time. They were out in a graveyard, and it was kind of quite by accident, But the pictures and everything, you could see like his face changed. Like some of the pictures that happened, it was the strangest thing. I was not there. I just seen the pictures and heard the stories. And
see, I probably could do that, but I haven't because I don't want to. Anyway, it goes back to them, like they don't want to. My guides don't want to make me too scared that I won't do this anymore. So they're like, okay, we got to. Like my kahuna said when she started, she woke up one night and there was a little girl standing at the foot of her bed. And she tried to go to sleep, and she, like 10 minutes later, looked, and the girl was still there. And she finally said, "What do you want?" And the girl said, "We just want to know how freaked out you want to get." and my kahuna goes, "Not very." And they're like, "Good, we can work with that."
Oh, that is too funny. Yeah, we're getting some good.
So, hold on a second. Yeah, the kahuna is that you keep speaking of. He is your master guide.
I studied with her. Her name's Candace Lionheart. I studied with her for probably about 8 years, and I still touch base with her when I get something. She's not a medium, but she talks to God.
Okay.
And she can pull disease out of the body. It's really amazing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show. Prana and all that kind of stuff. If I get around, some of my hands heat up. There's something really bad, and you can tell those sludgy people. We were talking about this yesterday. People with a lot of attachments, and you get around them, and it's just so dark and oppressive, and and it feels like guck, black tar. You just want to just scrape it away and get rid of it, ground it.
I used to go to business meetings, and I'd come back with a lot of pain, and I always thought it was the chairs. Yeah. But my kahuna said that to me once. She goes, "You try to slow down and go the speed those people are going, and you can't go that speed.
No,
because it screws you all up."
Yeah, then things will attach to you.
Right, and I'm still like figuring that out, like because we don't get told about that stuff. Nobody tells us that, okay, you could not be going at your vibration and that will make you sick.
Right, because you haven't lived in an ashram for 3/4 of your life or anything like that. Have the gurus telling you, that this is what's going to happen. If you, it's progress, not regress. You got to
Well,
keep.
and the other thing, like I did a speech on animal communication a couple months ago to a group, and I think only 5 people raised their hands that they said they believed in animal communication. I'm like, oh God, I'm in this crowd. And at the end of the speech, this one guy that was 20 came up to me and he goes, every time I meditate, my dog from heaven comes in and I see her and she's all glowing. And it made me realize the new people are being born with these skills.
Mm-hmm.
They're being born at that higher vibration. And so we're just kind of scouts out here ahead of time.
Yeah.
And we're the ones, there's more of us coming. There's not more of the non-believers coming. There's more of the people that have this innately coming.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think, yes, I agree with that. I think that there are more coming, but I think that there are more coming out, because before.
Yeah. Well, it's a safer environment too, and it's being talked about more. So there's people like I didn't know who to talk to about this. I didn't even know it was a possibility.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's so many areas and so many fields. It's just like, you can't just go to medical school and know how to doctor everything. Metaphysical, being a medium of all types, is not just one thing.
Right.
So, it's not cut and dry. It's not black and white. It's not that simple. But yeah, I want to kind of address a couple of these things in the chat room here. So Lisa says, I keep having crazy dreams lately that make no sense. It feels like I was in someone else's body. I suppose it comes with abilities. And she said, I wish my mom would visit me in dreams. Now that I think if just ask her to visit, she probably would.
Right. And the other thing I want to say about that is the way you attract stuff is you claim it. So instead of saying, like, I can't tell you how many people, when I started talking to angels, said, well, I wish I could talk to angels. I wish I could talk to spirit guides. And the wishing, you will never get there. What I did is I made the claim, I hear them loudly and clearly. So what she needs to say is, my mom visits me in my dreams. And then that will happen. Because we create the room to walk into it.
Your intent. You want your intent strong and pure, and then it will happen. You manifest. Your perception is your reality. It's always the truth. Let's see. Susan says, so I have always had a fear of aliens. I know other mediums that are too. I cannot figure out why. I'm generally not scared of anything. Constantly trying to figure out why. Well, fear of the unknown, because not many people do it. Or if they do, they don't really talk about it.
Do you want the wild story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always. You have to ask.
Okay. I don't know. I'd been doing this probably 2 years. And there's a woman that worked at the Humane Society that woke up one day and she was paralyzed from the chest down. And she was in a wheelchair. And I went over to her house to a session. And she had never met her father. I think he was dead. And he was one of the 4 people I couldn't get a hold of. And every time I tried to get a hold of him, I got static. And I would see like this stream of liquid metal coming at me. And he looked like, do you remember the Terminator where there was one guy that looked like liquid metal?
Yep.
Ooh.
That's what this guy looks like. And I saw that she had a metal plate in her back from him. And that's what was making her sick. And that's kind of where it left, because I couldn't get in on him, and I was pretty, because he looked like he had some juice. And then the next day I called up my kahuna and I'm like, this is what's going on. And she's like, what the hell is wrong with you? She goes, you think you can just waltz in anywhere and do anything just because of your looks. And, and she's like, you don't mess with the metal dimension. And I'm like,
the first I heard of that, honestly.
And so after that, she goes, you're lucky that you're like still walking around and not in a wheelchair like she is. And after that, I've always been more cautious going in, because I think even though stuff is spiritual, I think you can physically get harmed by it with stuff like that. And so my viewpoint on it is I don't look at stuff because I don't want it to attach to me. There's stuff out there. I don't have to have anything to do with it. I've got enough work without going after demons and stuff.
Yeah. Jojo says, try living in Louisiana where so many ghosts and spirits are everywhere. Yes, that is a highly haunted area. Well, she's
you
an
need to really put shielding around yourself in a space like that.
Yeah, because
and the thing to do, every time I take a shower, I always go through my ritual and I say, if anything's feeding on my energy, make it poisonous to them.
Yeah, we were talking about that too, about grounding, about shielding.
And that clicks them off.
And yeah, like when I ground and shield, and I can make, you can do this. Everybody can do this.
Okay,
Just like,
what's that for?
right, just do this and rub, 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 rub. Okay, so everybody that's watching, I want you doing this. Pull your hands apart and then slowly right across from each other and start pushing them in. And where do you have a resistance? Okay, this is your energy that you can create yourself. So some people like
You do it without rubbing.
it way out here. Some people can do it without that. But what you can do is you can take this energy and infuse yourself with it and envision it being the white light or a golden light and push it all the way through your body and all the way out. And you can do this in the shower is a great way to do it because you can envision the water coming down on you as a gold, golden showers. And don't go there with the comments, okay? But golden light is healing light, and that's why I like to use it. So not any other kind of weird things, people. But you can use that energy, you can infuse it into yourself and push the negative out. But also when you do that, so now whatever you take out, you've got to replace. So that's why you're pushing this energy in. So if you get an attachment removed from yourself, you've got to replace it with something. You can't leave a void, because a void is going to do what? It's going to get filled with something, probably something you don't want. So you need to fill that space. You want to fill it with positive. You want to fill it with love, light, kindness, energy, whatever. But then when you're all done, just envision your bubble around you with some mirrors on it, facing out. So anything that comes at you will see itself, scare itself, and leave. Okay? Now, that's my method of grounding and shielding, and that's what I do, and that's what I envision, and that's how I do it. When I was talking to you yesterday, Ann Marie, you were saying what you do when you are finding, crossing a spirit over, getting rid of one, the ones that don't want to go. You do that. Explain what you do with the mirror in your binding.
Okay, so if this isn't with a ghost, this is with something that is non-human that's here.
Other, yes.
Be it whatever energy. I put it in a circle of 360 degrees of mirrors facing inward with the white foam of perfect love, and then I put white light, pink light, golden light around it and 360 degrees on the way out. And then I send it to its right and proper place, wherever that is. So it goes back to where it's supposed to be, whatever planet or plane or whatever it came from. And that way I don't have to look at like, oh, this belongs here. And it's just done. And usually the foam, they can't get out as fast.
And mirrors are just powerful.
Yeah.
In general. In all aspects, scrying, it goes back ancient times. Everyone has used mirrors. That's why mirrors are great visualizations. Mirrors are great deterrents, protectors, so people use them a lot.
You brought up something else that I want to touch on. One of when I started my big pain, I had a lot of etheric cording to my family. And what I learned with Doreen's group was to cut those off. And that didn't change anything because they were rooted in my body and they just grew back. And what happened is somebody had the bright idea to pull them out by the roots and heal them. That's why when you said seal stuff up, that's made me remind, and that got rid of them permanently.
Right. Yeah. Because a lot of people say, oh, we're going to have a cord cutting, party. And they do, and they'll cut the cords.
Yeah. It's like cutting the grass. They just grow back.
Exactly. Go the step further because you need to remove, not just cut, you need to remove those cords, those energy vampires, those things that are turning you into muck. Because I'll tell you, anybody that does Reiki or anything like that, and they put hands near you, they'll feel that instantly, whether it pushes you away or you just feel that sludge that you just immediately want to start grabbing it, pulling it, and throwing it away, because it is like a heavy sludge. I just don't even know the right words to.
I trained with Eric Pearl on the reconnection, but I don't practice it. But that's all about just holding your hands and feeling energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you can
Chiropractor that heals people that way.
Where your chakras are at, what one's blocked, what needs to be cleared, all of that.
Look at Eric Pearl, because he talks about it, reconnecting cords that we've got. It's an interesting thing. He channeled a book from speaking of channeling, he channeled a book from an alien, and that's where he got this. And he was having all these like spontaneous healings and everything with it. And they studied it at the U of A. It was viable. That's why I hold on to science. That's why I did it, because they studied it for science.
So your medical background has to come through.
I know. It's like, please let me have facts.
Right. Mama, you're being so quiet.
No, I'm learning a lot. Trust me, I'm taking notes.
Okay.
What was the name of the gentleman you just said who wrote the book?
Eric Pearl. And he's going all over the world teaching it. He's very committed. He wants to have it used in hospitals.
Yeah. And this is another thing, too. She said, I think my puppy Lacey's spirit, her sister Coco, not so much. I think she sees my mom. I definitely know for a fact that animals see spirits. And, so Lacey will see him walking around here, she'll watch her and she'll be following something going through. Then I'll be like looking, going, all right, what are you looking at? But
were you going to say something?
Last week's show.
Oh.
Yes.
When we were on the air last week, her dog started barking for no reason at all. And it wasn't until the end of it that her Bob, who sent me love, by the way, not you, okay? Bob asked if they had burned incense or something, because there was a floral smell. There was a smell. And it's like, hello, Lacey. I already told you people. He was there. She was there.
I know. Lacey is so quiet.
Tricky with smells, though. I used to always get, when somebody died of lung cancer from smoking, I would smell smoke. Cigarette smoke. And it's like, really? That's like what I don't understand. Again, my science part is like, how do they get the molecules of smell in here? I want it to address with the dog seeing it and the other dog not seeing it. What happens is they come with us in purpose and they like a job. If you don't give them a job, they create a job. So your one dog's job is to guard the house, so he sees stuff. Your other dog's job might be to make you happy or to make you laugh, so he's oblivious to it. That's what's going on there.
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
So you got a protector and you got an idiot. There you go.
Well, the longer I live, the more I respect the ones that are there to make us happy. I really do.
That's all. You can't take me totally serious all the time. Jody says she's the poor thing. I love Jody, but those dogs are cute, little tiny little things. This one here, let's see. I took a course that covered cord pulling and healing, and it was one of the best things I learned to do for myself. Yeah, it's tough to do on yourself. I can just tell you that, because of the fact that you can't get right. If it's on your back or on your shoulder blade, you can't really get to that. You really do need to kind of pull it and rip it, and it's really tough to do to yourself. But to do for other people, and you can teach them.
If you're a medium that's an empath, I would really recommend Judith Orloff's book on this. I think very sensitive people, or I'm forgetting the book, but the last 2 or 3 books she's written has been how to be a highly sensitive intuitive. And like she talks about us having problems with marriage and stuff because we can't handle somebody else being in our space because we feel it. And I know for me, like I have a hard time creating if I have somebody in my space. So that is something I would recommend. And she has like advice like taking showers and things and how to be able to live with somebody. It's really, it should be a must. I really appreciate her work.
Cool. All right. Well, that's, like I have a bunch of books. That one I do not have in my library. I'll have to look into that one. Because I love my reading. I wonder if Zoe, my cat, knew me, Gina before, because she loves listening and watching her. Do you think that that's a possibility? Maybe.
I also get that your voice is soothing to her.
Aw.
And kind of like catnip. It's
Intoxicating.
intoxicating. That's the word she's using. It's intoxicating.
That's funny. Somebody, it's you love it or you hate it. That's what it is. It's the accent. I don't know.
What accent?
I don't hear an accent.
Thank you. I love you people. Can you be my best friend?
We are.
I know you are. But now we have a new one. I've had jogs all my life.
Because I got 101 questions going through my mind for you, but you and I will have to sit down one day and talk. Have
Okay.
Skype conversation. Oola.
Well, you can ask a couple of them now. All right. So Dave says, I've had dogs all my life. I feel a lot of them have kept me healthy. I believe they've taken illnesses from me. Yeah, we kind of talked about that at the beginning.
I'm so glad that you noticed that. There's a group called HABRA, Human Animal Bond Research Initiative or something, and they're looking at medically how dogs keep people healthy and alive. And the results are amazing, like 40% less heart attacks. People are living longer. They all have pets. It's just, with depression, with loneliness, with heart disease, with cancer, every single study they do, dogs help us extend our lives. I think we're meant to live with animals and not be separated from them.
What was the name of that book from Judith Orlock?
Oh,
I think I'll have to send it to you because I think it's highly sensitive person or something like that.
If you look up, it's probably on Amazon.
I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Novel. Oh, okay. All right, because I was going to say, because usually they, you put in an author and it comes up the list of the books, and then you can just see what
I don't think it's this one. 5 Steps to Healing Emotional, Physical, and Sexual Wellness.
No, that's not it.
Not that one.
No, but that could be interesting. Again, another show.
Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Gina B.
I have a weird question. This just kind of popped into me because now, if you talk to animals and let's say there was a homicide and the animal witnessed it, can the
They can
animal
tell me
say who did it?
if they know. Again, when I look for lost dogs, like they're like, okay, I'm here. There's a tree. There's a bush. If it's a person they know, they would say the name. If they saw it, they may be able to describe the person and tell what happened. So yeah, they can be. I don't work on murders because if somebody comes to me with a lost person and they've had a problem, I work with it, but I don't advertise. I just do, psychic detective work because that is really intense. And that, because the other weird thing with that, I don't know if you've dealt with any murders, but anytime I can, like there's this one guy that got murdered. I could feel the guy that killed him listening to me on the phone. Like I knew that he knew. It was the weirdest thing, and it was so creepy.
Yeah.
You want to talk about creepy energy. The creepy energy of these people that murder people. Yeah. Oh my God. And it's always still on the person that was killed. It's so creepy.
Yeah, that's a low, like I hear a lot of tones, like a low tone, a medium tone, a high tone.
Yeah.
So I'll hear a tone before a spirit enters the room. So if it's low, then I know I need to be on guard, and the closer it gets to me, the more the little hairs on the back of my neck will stand up and everything too. It'll be that fight or flight is definitely activated. Like I know I got to be cautious and careful. If it's a medium or a higher tone, it's a really higher vibration. Yeah. I'm not so nervous. I know it's not anything that's not going to harm me, But yeah, we go into some of these locations and there's bad energies. We go into asylums and we go into, places like that.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle that. I know I couldn't handle that. I'd be a mess.
Yeah. So you get all the different energies. So you have to protect yourself to a certain degree, but enough that you don't block it out completely.
Right. And that's really hard sometimes.
It is. It's practice, but you can't be totally open when you go into these places either, because that negative thing will be like, and come right on you, and they want to take you over because they want to continue that work because obviously that thing has not crossed over, right. And they're continuing doing what they loved and enjoyed in life, which is torturing people.
Right.
So yeah, those things do go on. And on and on. And, these locations that people go to, like thinking, oh, it's just, it's fun. It's this, it's that. It's like, there's real situations going on here. So, you really got to hit that hard.
Be impeccable in your procedures is what the angels are saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
There's no room for error.
Exactly. All right, hold on a second here.
And just a quick one. Sharon says, "Anne, you were right. Zoe now fell fast asleep.
Zoe did what?
Fell fast asleep.
That's a sleep.
You were
Aw.
the sedative to her that she needed to sleep."
Aw. What a cutie. Colette is saying something here. Say, could you ask her if she knows what's wrong with my one cat?
What's the cat's name?
Big boy.
He's saying he's not getting enough attention.
Oh, we did too. Yeah, called Big Boy. You can tell me what's wrong with him. He's not getting enough attention?
From her. Is he really acting different lately?
Colette, do you want to call in?
Yeah, I probably have to do this on a call. Because it almost feels like somebody's spying on her through the cat.
Calling. And let's see. Yeah, call it. That's the numbers right there. Those are toll-free numbers. You can call in, and we'll put you through, and you could talk to her. She can ask you questions, and then maybe you can figure out what's going on. So the same with anybody else. If you want to call in and ask a question, all right. So that's the number right there. Either one of those numbers you can call.
And please don't forget to put your area code and at least the first 3 digits in, so we know who's.
Yeah, if I see you come on here, I'll know it's you, and I'll click you right in. Okay. In the meantime, the mansion in Winchton, Mass, that has a carriage house across the street, had a lot of different energies and super active. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it at the moment. Winchton. What was in Winchton? I just mailed the letters off to Winchton today. That's funny. A bunch of pictures. My late husband's sister lives there, and she asked me if I had pictures of her parents that passed away in fishing. And I'm like, yeah, I have them. And I said, I don't know where they are. Lo and behold, first place I looked, found them. It's like, wow, found a whole bunch more. So then I mailed them today. And she's
there
like,
are no coincidences.
I know, how weird is that? But I can't think of the name of the mansion in Winchton. I know that.
Well, hopefully Colette is calling in.
She's bleeding from the mouth. Big Boy is a she?
She is bleeding from his mouth. Wait, Colette, are you going to call in? Call in. Just call in.
I thought she said yes.
Yeah.
Previously, so we'll see.
Yeah, call in. Call. You can talk, use your phone. Dial the number, 713-955-0384 or 818-431-8214. Call in and I'll put you, you'll be right on the speaker, right live with us. Okay, here we go. All right, she's here. Call it. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
All right, so have your conversation with Ann Marie.
So the cat's name is Big Boy.
We have a cat and we call him Big Boy, and he's been acting really funny lately. And he's been bleeding like from the mouth or whatever.
How old is he?
To
We just kind of lost you.
be honest with you, I'm not absolutely sure because he's an indoor-outdoor cat.
Okay, I'm getting between 4 and 7.
Okay. And I haven't seen him the last couple of days, and I'm really worried now.
Okay, you gave me a bunch of stuff. He was bleeding from the mouth, and now he's been gone.
Can you hear her? Colette? Hello? I don't know what's going on there. Colette, can you hear us? I don't know if we lost you. If you want to try to call back, if we lost you, and I show you're still on here. Well, I'm going to cut you off, but call back. Maybe I don't know what happened. I don't know. That's never happened before. But so all right. So if Big Boy is missing for a few days and bleeding.
Yeah, I don't get a good feeling on that.
Well, could it be gums? Bleeding? Yeah, I hung up your phone. Call back, Carlette. All right, that same number, and I'll put you through again because I don't know what happened. We couldn't hear you. So we need some more information to try to figure out what's happening.
Right. I usually have to get till I get a connection with them, and then they start talking.
Well, it's like she was saying that he's an indoor-outdoor cat. Now, I had a feral cat who would come up and sit on my back porch, and she would let me scratch her. Hello, thank you very much. I had a cat that I could scratch. And she would come up, she would feed in the middle of winter when it was a blizzard or a pouring rainstorm. She would come in the house and eat because I can't not feed the cat.
Yeah.
But then she would go right back out and do her thing. I had a little house for her, so she would stay there for during the winter, and I know that she was safe and she had that spot. And just last summer she stopped coming around. So
Colette, do we have you back?
So she's gone.
Hi, no, we got you back. Okay. All right, so Ann had some questions for you.
Okay, so I got the big boys between 4 and 7 years old. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And you haven't seen he was bleeding from the mouth, and then you haven't seen him for a couple days.
Yeah. Since 2 days? I haven't seen him for 2 days.
What I get is he's hiding under a porch or something. He's he's showing me, where are you? What city?
What city are you in?
I live in a small town called Wallop.
Can you say that again? Because it's kind of cutting out. It's a bad connection for
Wallop, Pennsylvania.
Okay, because it feels like it might be cold, but it feels like he's under like a porch with, like, you know how houses have a porch and then you can go underneath the flooring of the porch. He doesn't want to bother you when he doesn't feel good.
Okay.
But he's still alive.
Can I ask a question? I don't understand where the blood's coming from, though.
It feels like he got in a fight.
Okay.
And got scratched up. You think it's more than that?
I don't know, because like I said, it comes from his mouth or whatever, then it'll stop. And when he bleeds, it's like really, really heavy, isn't it?
But is he coughing up blood, or is it a cuts in the actual mouth?
I don't know if there's a cut in his mouth, like up in his gums or whatever, because it'll come and go. Like it had stopped a while, and then it came back again.
I would take him into the vet, because I just had a client that had a cat that had cancer underneath its tongue, and they can get they can get mouth sores and cancer growths in their mouth more than you'd like to think. So I would take him in. Is he feral? Can you get him into the vet?
Yeah, as soon as my husband gets his unemployment or whatever, and that, because right now he's laid off.
I know, it's a crazy time.
Right. The virus is killing everybody. Like I had to take my dog had an issue, and I had to take her to the vet, and they wanted to do the follow-up, and they said, well, this is what we're doing for follow-up. Like I was supposed to bring a little bag of poop and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And but I ended up getting sick, so I canceled it. But they go, no, just park outside. A nurse will come out, get the things, or get the dog and bring the dog in, and then bring it back to you. So they'll come out and they'll get it. So you can still go to the vet. But there are places that you can call. Like in Mass, there was like Tufts at a division, and there was a few other places that if you don't have money for vets, that they'll do these things.
I would at least open his mouth and see where the blood is coming from.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it could just
if it's flowing, it feels like it could be a rupture of something.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
It could be just infected gum. It could be just something.
Yeah, but not if it's flowing.
yeah,
It's
well,
like a tumor or something.
say it ate a mouse. You know what I mean? In a bone that's stuck in. You know.
Yeah, but she's saying that it's happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll let us open his mouth and everything, and look, because me and my husband. I mean, he's very gentle, or for being an outside cat that comes in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would have thought for sure, he would have been like wanting to try to bite or whatever, but he doesn't do any of that.
He loves you very much. Like, that's one of the big things I get from him.
Well, I have anxiety, and my I'm not going to tell you, I'm not supposed to have the animals inside. My landlord don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they help me with my anxiety.
They save us. Yeah. You need to get an emotional support certification.
I got one for my dog. My dog can go everywhere.
Because then they have to let you have the cat.
Yep.
It's
So,
just a note from the doctor.
yeah, they're real easy to get too. I mean,
Yeah.
for emotional support, not
And you
like
need it.
the other ones. But yeah, you can get it. I think it costs like $100 though. You know, to get it. But you can take
No,
it
it doesn't.
everywhere, and that's what I paid. You know, but that was like a while ago, and I was like, yeah, because I want to be able to take Lacey, you know, even in restaurants and whatnot, you know. So I had a real snooty, not gonna say the word, person, you know, like, is that a service dog? You know, I'm like, well, yes, she is. So I had to take the card out and put it on the thing, and they were just like, ugh, you know what I mean? I'm like, God, you know, what's she gonna do? You know, she's not eating off your plate.
So the thing I get from him is he wants to be brave for you. And he came to protect you. So
He does, believe me.
yeah, he does. And he's good at that. But I think he's trying to maybe, like, if he's sick, he's not going to tell you or me because he doesn't want to worry you.
That's probably exactly what it is too.
Yeah, because that's what I get with him.
Well, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck with him. Okay, so let me, Gina, before you go, I'm ordering a part of myself that knows how to do it to put healing energy around Big Boy. I'm asking for anything that's causing bleeding, for it to be removed and replaced with white light and love and healing. I'm asking that start now, that go through all bodies, all space, and all time, and continue until complete. I'm assigning 100 psychic social workers and 100 universal law enforcement agents to make sure it's carried out the footsteps of the law and goes through all bodies, all space, and all time. Amen. There you go. Put some angels around both of you. You need them. Or I'll do it for you. Putting angels around both of you. It's nice to talk to you, Gina.
All right. Thank you, Paulette.
Oh.
Right.
Bye. You guys all have a happy Easter. Bye.
You too. All right.
You too.
Our social distancing Easter.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so good. This is a first, you know.
Yeah, it is. I never thought it'd be like this.
No, never in a million years. But you know, we'll live through it. You know,
We will.
hopefully. God
And
willing.
it's interesting too because we really, we're here for free will. So God lets us do as much stuff as we want. And so it's really like, how afraid are we going to get? This could get worse or it could get better. It's how we respond to it.
Yeah.
When I try to talk to the angels about it, I don't get a lot of oh, this is going to end July 1st. They're not into that at all. They're like, well, it depends on what you guys do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But it's not the time for fear.
I mean, terrorists
fear.
and politicians and money and big pharma and all these things in the pot. You don't really know what's going on. Yeah. So it's
but I believe
subject.
I believe the universe has our back, and I don't think it's a time to buy into conspiracy theories right now. I think it's a time to. I don't know. Because I have clients calling me with conspiracy theories all the time, and is this true? And it's like, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We talked about this yesterday too. I'm telling you, we touched on so many subjects. The 5G thing. It's not 5G.
It's not 5G.
It's not 5G.
Unless it's $5,000 or 5 Ginas, we're okay.
Oh God, the world couldn't handle 5 Ginas.
You never knew. One for each continent. Let's go.
Oh, then we need 7.
Well, I personally think I'm just gonna go quickly on this one, on the coronavirus pandemic, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think this is Mother Nature giving us a time. Well, not even Mother Nature, Mother Earth sending us all to our rooms, because now she's healing. The Earth is healing, and I think, as bad as it is, you have to find. For me, I have to find the positive in everything, and our Earth is healing. For all the videos and pictures that you see from space that take pictures of this Earth, and all the stuff that you see going on, the canals in Venice are filling up with fish and dolphins. And so, I'm sorry, but as bad as it is, there's a good side to it.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you hear about the pandas in China?
No.
Is that the ones where they caught them doing it?
Yeah, they haven't had. They've been trying to get them to mate for 10 years, and now that everybody's out of the zoo, they're mating.
So that's what it is. They don't want to be under the microscope at all.
There you go.
I know.
Like, I ain't gonna have people watching me while this is not a panda porn.
But yeah, when you were talking, the fairies are like, we can frolic in the fields for once.
Yes, they can.
Things can go out and have fun for a while. See if I'm looking.
Hopefully, it makes some people realize how much we affect the world.
Jess. Oh, I know. But the world does need to heal. I mean, the ozone layer needs to heal, and trees need to grow, and stop cutting things down, faster than they can grow back up. Anything else in here that we want to put up here? Yeah. Anyone else have any specific questions that they would like to know, either about their pets or maybe even a loved one? We got 14 minutes left. Oh, you know what? Talk about your book.
Yeah.
Right? Title, what's it about? Where it can be found? All that kind of stuff.
Okay, my book is Animal Lover, and it's one woman's fantastic journey to uncover the spiritual purpose of pets. And the way it came about is I was writing about just doing animal communication, and the woman that was editing said, you have to write about your background because this didn't just happen. And so when I looked at how I grew up on the farm and how I had cats, like I had a cat that met me the same time in the haymow every day during the week, but not on the weekend, that I realized we were probably telepathic with each other, and I just didn't know it. Even like I milked cows all the way through grade school and high school, and I realized like I knew what the cows were thinking sometimes. And
get your cold hands off my teeth.
Why are you putting that machine on me? I don't like this.
Hey guys, but it just was a different thing. And so I've got stories about the farm and how I was closer to animals, and then I've got the 5 reasons why somebody would call an animal communicator, and some of the more memorable cases I've had. And in the back, I've got an excerpt where you can go in and like how to send your pet to heaven, and how to, get your dog to listen to you and things like that. I've got how to clear energy on a space and how to sanctify a space, all that stuff that people can do it for themselves, so they can start to learn how to cyclically do housekeeping. And
can it be bought on Amazon?
Yes, it's on Amazon.
Housekeeping.
If I could teach my dog how to housekeep, I'd be happy.
What's your dog's name?
My dog?
Mama, because
Onyx.
Onyx. How old?
3.
I got
Just
2.
turned 3.
Okay, he gave me 2.
Oh, yeah.
I also get the physical age, but I get he might be a little bit. Well, he's not used to being 3 yet. A little bit, not quite today.
No.
He feels like he's not coordinated yet. Like his legs, he's got more legs than he has.
Oh yeah.
So he's saying sometimes he doesn't mean to be clumsy, but he is. So he apologizes when he knocks over the water and stuff. He tries to be a good boy. That's the first thing he's going to leave.
Oh, he is. He's mama's baby.
But he feels like he could have more pizzazz than he does. He could be more suave. That's the word he's going to use.
Because he's waiting for his next grooming appointment at the spa.
Oh.
Because mom shaves them very badly.
Yeah.
I stick Lacey in the bathtub. Funniest thing. But I was using the shaving thing, you know, and the head fella.
If I disappear, I'm having power issues. I don't know if you guys see that. So
Oh, don't disappear. Don't go anywhere, Mama. No.
it's not
Snow
me.
up
It's
there.
my electricity. You know we're having a freaking snowstorm here. So just don't start with me.
Where are you?
I'm up in Quebec, Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, so
snowing
you
all freaking day.
Canada and Arizona.
Arizona.
I want to move down to Arizona. Dry heat. Hello.
I know, but
Well,
heat,
my hair won't frizz.
heat though. Heat.
I could, when I go back to the Midwest, it's like so oppressive, the humidity compared to here. It's like,
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, Pennsylvania. I'm from Massachusetts, which is cold and snowy, and kind of, Bob used to call it the Antarctic.
Oh.
And Mama's worse because she's up, higher
Mhm.
than I was. But here in Pennsylvania, it gets hot and sticky, and it's always moist. It's always raining. It's like it's so moist. That's why I'm
So,
having such
We're
issue.
gonna move to Arizona and party in Jamaica.
there you go.
What do we say?
I'll
about
figure it out.
Jamaica, Mama? What happens in Jamaica?
Stays in Jamaica. Never mind Vegas, dude.
Oh, that's so funny. Yep. Yeah, you got to come in to Jamaica with us. We're gonna go
So
do.
what do you guys do in Jamaica?
We had a guest on last week, and she has
Sheila Price Brooks.
thank you, Sheila Price Brooks, and she has oh god, I can't think of the
Do a
word.
workshop about
Well, thank you.
paralysis.
Yeah.
And and how to overcome it, and spirituality and raising your vibrations and all those types of things. So she's gonna do workshops and stuff, and she's gonna do it in Jamaica.
Well, she
Oh,
is
wow.
in Jamaica. She lives in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So she's gonna, and we're all we're getting a giant
We all
boat and
gotta
going over there. Hello.
Tell me about it. I haven't been
And
there.
children are being left in the hotel rooms.
So we were joking around with her too, and we were saying, okay, well, if we come down, what happens in Jamaica stays in Jamaica.
She mentioned white rum, and I was okay, no problem.
Jamaica's got good rum.
Yep, it's famous for it. Let's see.
Got a
So
lot
what?
of good stuff.
Go on the chat room over here. What time we have left? We got 9 minutes. Okay. Oh. Well, this is now that your pain is less in Louisiana from fibromyalgia. It was horrible in Mass.
Right.
So isn't it like it's really hot? She said it was 90 today, I think, right? Didn't you say it was 90?
Could you send some up here to melt the snow, please?
If it's 90 here, it's not that bad.
Yeah, there in Arizona, but in
Yeah.
Louisiana, isn't it moist in Louisiana?
Yeah. Well, I can see fibromyalgia being better where it's not as humid. I don't know by Louisiana. The
Yeah.
other thing, like
Moist.
fibromyalgia is another one of those things that you might have something attached to you, because that's one of the things I look at when I kind of do my interview with people. When I talk to them, I'll feel like if they have a ghost, and then it's like, well, do you have any autoimmune diseases? And fibromyalgia is one that comes up. I believe it's like they take energy from you, and then you don't have enough energy to run your body, so there's other stuff that's happening.
That's very interesting. Jojo, maybe you should, it's muggy in the summer. Yeah, she says. Maybe you should get in touch with Ann. Maybe there's something that can be done.
The very first year I did this, I had a client in Wisconsin that had rheumatoid arthritis. And she was on 19 meds, and she had it for 17 years. And with 2 sessions, I got her off everything. Now, she was ready to do it. I'm not going to say I can do that with everybody. She was ready to do
you
it.
have to be ready.
But
yeah.
I think that also happened for me to see, because rheumatoid arthritis is one that goes into spontaneous remission, but it doesn't stay there. And she would call me every year and say, I'm still fine. So I think I was at a Burnbury.
I think I was at Burnbury and I had a child attached.
Yeah, that was at the Haunted Mansion. We did an event there, and Jojo came with us, and that's when she got her trigger prop dog. She won, and she slept with it, and had it on, and kept going. Yeah, but yeah, there was a lot of things that happened. There was many things happened during that time there, and
so
yeah.
has your fibro been worse since then? That's a question.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, if you have a propensity for it, somebody else new can come back and reactivate it again.
She's very sensitive. She's very
Right. And I think people, like, they can see the light. Like, if you're sensitive, they can see your light, and then they come and attach.
Yeah, we did cross over one of the children there. That was that time, right, Jojo? We crossed with the balloon. We let the child go with the balloon in the middle of the room. Goes off all the time in the house. Yeah. Oh, I bet down there it does. Yeah, she's got one of the trigger prop basset hounds, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, we make those. They're really cool. You
It's
can.
another thing I gotta get.
I know, right? it's a great tool for investigation and to appease, like children and stuff.
Yeah.
So children, if they're, sometimes they might be afraid of a dog, but we make dogs cats. I have a fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Okay, wait a second. Is it Bob who makes them or
Yeah.
you?
Bob.
It's
Bob.
Bob. Okay,
No, the
tell
only thing I
Bob
do is I
to
decorate
figure out how to make a butterfly.
Oh God. You have something that you can put all the wiring
Okay,
in.
I'll have the butterfly in the ghost box and a black cat as my trigger prop. Now let's hit the lottery.
But the cats and the dogs really work. I mean, they work
Yeah.
because they pick up the spirits of people. Like, say you have the basset hound and you bring it to a battlefield. You can put the battlefield out there. That could be the dog that the soldiers used, and they'll interact with it.
Right.
And I put the fox in the battlefield in Gettysburg, and yeah, that got attention too. And I think maybe because they were trying to shoo it away, thinking that it's a wild animal.
Yeah.
I mean, so it got interaction that way. But say we go to Penhurst and you put down a cat down on the ground and you ask the child spirit to come over and pat it, which was really, one child was petting this thing profusely. The cat wouldn't stop. And one of our guests actually yelled and said, "All right, stop it." Go. And it went dead. I said, well, geez, that poor child has just had, the one good thing it might have had in a very long time.
Right. Taken away
by your actions, thinking that, this is the nurse that might have come in and yelled at, crushed all their good activities or something like that. I'm like, so now I really want you to apologize, and tell that child that it's okay to pet that cat again. But, at that time, the activity had stopped.
Right. She's not going to do it again.
Yeah, she scared that poor child away. So people got to be, aware of what they say and do too.
Yeah.
What's he saying here? I feel I'm sorry. Feel a heaviness, but the fibromyalgia wasn't bad. I still see and hear things, but there are so many spirits and ghosts in New Orleans.
Right.
I want to come down, Jojo, so bad, because I have not been to New Orleans.
I love New Orleans. New Orleans is great.
I want to go to the plantations. I want to investigate everywhere.
Yeah. It's one of the few towns that has a totally different, like all the towns kind of look alike because we all have the same like chain restaurants and stuff. But New Orleans has its own feel. It should stay there. And they've got great food. And good history. But yeah, they've got the cemeteries that are above ground. So that plays into there being more ghosts.
Well, the bodies wash away, so that's why they have to be above ground. So, been a few times, Jess, and that's cool. Oh, geez, we're down to 2 minutes. Okay, we're down to 2 minutes. Again, all right, I want you people to get in touch with Ann Hoff. Want to put that banner back up, Mama, with the website. You can get in touch with her there. You can find her book. Where was it? Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Go through there. Oh, look at that kitty. Look at that kitty.
Now, don't you have a trigger cat that looks like that? Like a Maine Coon, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's a big cat. Yeah, my daughter has a cat like that. Oh my God, it stretched his paws out like this, and I thought it was a lion.
He's got big paws.
Yeah, and then but it looked like fingers almost with claws. Like, yikes! Jojo says you can see the ghost in the cemetery at night once in the day you saw one. Oh, well, you know what? I have gotten the most of my most impressive ever evidence, either auditory or visual, in the daytime. So, we only go investigating at night because it's the majority of people are sleeping. It's a little less noise from other, external things. Oh, stop.
Can we mute her?
I know, right?
That or have a sexy man's voice. Hello, you've got 60 seconds.
That would make it sound totally different.
Yeah, it would.
Mama. Just leave it to Mama. That's all I can say. It's all on Mama. But thank you so much for
Thank you for having me on. I've enjoyed
Oh, it
this.
was fun
Great.
and informative.
Yeah.
Do you have are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Because I didn't, bad co-host, didn't get the link.
Actually, Rosella's Way, because I had that as my business before.
Okay.
ROSEZELLASWAY. And then Samson is on Instagram as Samson Speaks. He wears sunglasses and hats.
Oh man, I'm going to be following Samson.
Lacey has more outfits than I do, I swear to God.
He's got a bow tie and he's got a black vest and
oh God,
clothes.
Fairy outfits, and I have a fox costume. All her different things for Halloween. Plus, she's got bunny ears and tails and stuff for Easter and everything. Lacey is just always.
10 seconds.
All right. Join us next week. We're going to have Cam. What's his name? Cam Knight. We will have with us next week. And we are going to be discussing mind mapping. So that'll be interesting. And thank you, Ann, again.
Thank you.
All have a wonderful night, a wonderful week. Please stay in, stay safe, wash your hands, keep away from people. Be nice. Just be nice.
And don't forget, everybody, this show will be going up on Gina's YouTube account and to her audio platform as well once we're done.
Right.
So
Mama gets to work.
that's what I'm here for.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.